Hello, and welcome to the Afterlife. I'm Dre.
I'm Luke.
And today is a very special episode. We're actually recording a podcast in person for once. Some of you guys may or may not know, we record virtually, so remotely, I mean. So that does kind of make it difficult for editing, but here we are in person. Finally made it out here.
Yep. You've been here for about a week now.
Yeah.
And, I picked Dre up at Columbus Airport. We've been hanging out. We've been doing some fun stuff, as you can see.
Working on music.
Working on a bit of music.
Doing a little bit of ghost hunting.
A little bit of ghost hunting.
Yeah.
So there's some dank stuff coming out soon.
It's been great. Today we wanted to just kind of do a little sneak peek of what's to come. We're definitely going to be having some more podcast episodes coming out your way. Like I said, ghost hunts, kind of like a first on the channel.
Yeah, we went to the spooky cemetery yesterday.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of activity, so you'll get to see that.
Yeah, as far as the day that this video is recorded, we've had one cemetery, what do you call that, ghost hunt, I guess?
Yeah.
We've had one video of us.
And we didn't use a spirit box. We're thinking next time we'll use a spirit box, and we're gonna record on my phone next time, use this spirit box on Dre's phone, and we figured out how to rotate the front and back camera, so that'll be cool. I mean, it'll spice it up a little bit, at least.
Yeah, there's definitely always like a learning curve whenever you start anything new. There's always like problems that come up that you never even considered, you know?
Yeah.
But it's cool. So I mean, as of today recording, we've had one graveyard under our belt. I'm sure we're gonna have a handful more before I head back to Cali, but
There's a lot of graveyards around here.
Honestly, I think that was the biggest, I guess you could say, culture shock for me coming from California. Yeah, there is a lot of cemeteries in California, you know, specifically in LA. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a big one in East LA. And there's, of course, like Hollywood Forever. And, you know, and there's probably some other ones that's escaping my memory right now. But that's the one thing, coming out here into Ohio, seeing all these like little cemeteries, and guys, some of these cemeteries, they're extremely small. Maybe they have like 20 headstones max, and it's really interesting. I mean, even if you were to go on the map and you look up Columbus, Ohio, you look up cemeteries, like you're gonna see all these tiny little cemeteries on the map. Like, to me, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure why there's more here than compared to California. I don't know when California blew up, but Ohio, you know, you had people living, big populations living here before people started moving over to California, so maybe it's something to do with that.
Could be. And one thing is, like, I've noticed is like cemeteries in California, they're really big. Like even the quote unquote smaller cemeteries, they're really big. And that's the one thing here in Ohio. I haven't hit up a lot of them, but there's one over in Delaware, I think, right? By the library.
That one's pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was like a decent size, but from my experience, that was actually kind of like a smaller cemetery.
Right.
Bigger than what I've seen here in general, but
Bigger for Ohio.
bigger for Ohio, but for me, it was kind of smaller. But
I mean, maybe it's something to do with the zoning thing. Like
Yeah.
Ohio might be more lenient on where you can put cemeteries.
that could also be, yeah.
And I don't know, another thing is maybe like with the automobile back in the day here, it's like you couldn't travel for miles to bury someone. You had to have something nearby. Back
Yeah.
when you were like on a horse and stuff. Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting topic. Like why are California cemeteries so big and spread out?
Yeah, and like you said, that could be like a zoning thing. I've never actually looked into it, but that could probably be like more of a zoning thing, or even just they needed the excess land for, like, living spaces, businesses, or whatever. So maybe it's like,
Yeah, farms.
exactly. So
Here
maybe
you'll
that's
see
why.
cemeteries right next to farms. So, I mean, they bury them below the soil level that the crops would be using, allegedly, but it is kind of cool.
And that's interesting you mentioned that, because I remember learning that back in the day, before we had parks, like in the Victorian era, cemeteries were actually considered to be almost like a park. So it was very,
That's how I view them.
yeah. And see, like back in the day, it was extremely common for people to be in the cemetery, have like a picnic in there, like families, because there weren't really any public parks at the time.
Yeah.
Another thing, kind of in correlation with the farming, is farmers back in the day used to let their cattle graze on grass in cemeteries. They believed that soil was richer, that the grass was richer, and it would in turn make the cows like a little healthier. So yeah, that is pretty interesting that you mentioned that.
Whoa. And maybe that was, back before. I forget the name of that chemical that prevents the body from decomposing.
Fluoride? No, not fluoride. Formaldehyde, I think.
Yeah, and maybe the soil actually was better. That could be dangerous. Eating off of eating food that was growing from soil with human decay, I would think, but
If anything,
we're
that's
still
just,
around.
yeah. If anything, I think that's just like really morbid.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, I don't know if you remember, but did you ever see the Charlie Brown like Mayflower special? You ever see that one?
No.
Like the Mayflower Voyagers or something?
No.
So that one's really interesting. It's set, during like the Mayflower. And anyway, they're meeting up with this Native American, I think it was Squanto, and he's showing them how to grow corn and grow food. And basically he's showing Charlie Brown and Linus like how to plant seeds. So he digs up a little hole and he takes a fish and he puts the fish down for the soil, and then he like covers it up and he puts like the seed there. So like suggesting that as the fish decomposes, that creates like food for the soil, making it hardier.
Cool. Yeah.
So kind of like composting, but
Right. That's sick.
so I mean there's probably some truth to that, but still, like, if anything, I think it's just like super morbid.
Right. Yeah, I wonder if the fish would decompose fast enough for that seed to utilize it, but at the very least, after the seed depletes the soil, by then the fish might replace whatever the seed used, so that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And That kind of reminds me. Actually, I had a thought and it just blew out. Go ahead.
Oh, no problem. Well, yeah, there's a lot of cemeteries here. We'll be hitting some up. We did go to this bar that's looking really old. I don't know exactly how old it is, but it's in Columbus. It's called Out, and the upstairs part of it is, we both got like a heavy, dark feeling there.
Say like dark as in like demonic. I don't want to say that. Heavy, like a dread feeling. It felt very liminal. For any of you guys that checked out our back rooms video, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about, or if you guys are into the back rooms. I don't know how to describe it. It just felt very liminal. The lighting was like really dim, which was kind of, cool vibe. There's like a brick building. Well, the whole building was brick, but the inside was just like exposed brick wall. And I don't know, going up there, because that's where the bathrooms were, going up these stairs, and basically you're in this room, and there's all these pool tables, and there's like a little spot where you'd be playing darts and stuff. I don't know, it was just completely empty. It just felt really empty, really liminal. And the best way I can describe it is, if you guys have ever seen Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, like they kind of go to that rundown little club bar kind of thing in like that old like mining town. That's kind of what it felt like. It felt really like, I don't know, run down, I guess. Now, overall, I think the bar was pretty nice, and it wasn't like, falling apart or anything like that. It just felt really heavy up there for some reason.
And it looked old, like, it looked like 1800s at least.
Yeah.
It looked like it was there before many of the buildings around it. And we did record a little bit, but it would be cool to do a spirit box session there, like I think Reggie suggested.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. I'll have to go back, check that out. We'll get some footage of it. We did ask a couple people. It was funny. Outside of the bar as we were leaving.
Yeah.
There's this couple we asked, and I said, random question, does it feel like different to you upstairs, or does it feel weird to you? And then,
yeah,
like, it was kind of weird. She just kind of like avoided the whole question. And then I think I answered, and then I like asked again, and I was like, so have you felt anything up there? And then she was like, oh, why? Is there a ghost up there? Like, kind of jokingly, like, you think it's haunted? And I was like, well, not saying that, it just feels kind of weird. And then this other guy came up while we were getting ready to leave, and he was like, what's going on? And asked him the same question, and he was like, oh, definitely, yeah, there's something up there. It's like when I go up there to use the bathroom, he's like, I get the chills, I feel like there's someone watching me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that guy came out a little bit later for smoke, and yeah, he was pretty open about it, so that was cool of him. And
yeah,
maybe, who knows, maybe even the couple had an experience, but people just get embarrassed about admitting to that stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. We'll have to go back. When we went up there, no one was upstairs, like it was empty. And the bottom part was pretty empty too. They had a soccer game going on. Upstairs there's no TVs. So I bet if we go back, maybe even on a weekend, it would probably still be pretty empty up there. And we could probably just do a recording without even asking for permission, just do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be sweet. And we planned on visiting another haunted place while we're here.
I don't want to give it away, but it's a very well-known area in Ohio, a mountain, if you will.
Yeah, like a hill.
Yeah.
Sort of like a really big hill. I
Um,
don't know. If we say anything more, it might give it away.
so yeah, be on the lookout for that. We're gonna be investigating that area pretty soon and uploading a video. So yeah, guys, just a little bit of a recap. A bunch of new content coming out your way.
We even have an interview that we did with a psychic that isn't out yet. And
Oh,
that
yeah,
went
that's right.
really
Yeah,
well.
we haven't
Other
even
than me
uploaded that.
dropping out for a little bit in the beginning, it was really cool. So
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
look
So
out for that too.
yeah, a bunch of new content coming out your way. Yeah, definitely. If you guys have any comments, questions, drop them down below. And if not, we'll be seeing you on the other side. I've been Dre.
And I've been Luke.